Hello, students. This is Dr. Davis coming back. We are working in Access uh, Module 1, Project A, creating and modifying tables and other database objects. The first thing that you want to do is you need to save your file, as it says right here. Getting started, you need to save your file as a 2. Okay, so when you bring the file up, you do your file. So let's get started with this tutorial. To save this, you click on your file, and this takes you to your backstage. You click on Save As. Make sure that your Save As database, Save Database As is highlighted. This here is, then you come over to the Save Database As. This here is selected by default, and then you click Save As. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to do is make sure that this has a 2 behind it, okay, just a 2. So you take out the 1 and you replace it with the 2, and you click Save As, because if you're working on different platforms and they require you to save it a certain way, you will not be able to submit the project if it's not saved the exact way that they suggest. So I want you to put a 2 behind it. Make sure that your first and last name is presented here. If not, you will need to re-download the file. Again, if you do not want to if you don't want to work with the file, or if you're not working on a particular platform, you can just follow along and pick up the skill sets in here as well. So you click Save. It's going to save replace. You just say yes. Okay, and so now it's just resaved as the 2. Okay. Okay, so the next step is that it wants us to open the grading info table. So to open up that info table, you're going to double click on that and open it up. You should see your first and your last name. If you don't, then you will need to go back and reopen that file. For those that are not on this platform, which is Cengage, all you need to do is follow along. And basically the skill set that I just went through is how to open up a particular table. Here you see tables, then you see files. Later you will see queries and so forth. Okay, so that's how that. So just a little helpful note, since we won't be using this table immediately, let's go on and close it out. And to do that, I want you to right click on this table and just click close, because we've already saved it. Okay, and it goes back over. So now you have your blank document application screen that's still open. So in this activity, we're going to create an Access database to better manage information on customers and policies. We're going to be working with a personal insurance company. It's a national company that insures homeowners and renters. So we're going to be creating an Access database to better manage their customer files. Working space right here. We are now entering into the project steps. Rename the default primary key ID. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is we're going to click on Create to create the table, and click on Table. It automatically defaults to Datasheet View, and when you clicked on Table, it automatically created a table. So step 1A says to rename the primary key ID to policy number. And remember, the policy number does not have a space. The star key indicates that this is the primary ID. So you click here, then you right click and you select rename, and you type policy number. And then you come up here to then we're going to change this to short text. The next thing we're going to do is change the data type to short text. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add a new field called customer ID and change it to short text. So you click here to add, you select short text, and we're going to call it, the default name comes up field 1. We're going to call this customer ID. Then you have to click below it for it to be accepted. And the way that you know it's accepted or the field is good is it highlights in yellow once you click below. And it also wants you to change this field to a 7. And to change the field size to a 7, you're in the field, under the Fields tab, and in the Properties group, you have a field size command, and it's 255. You want to type 7 there, hit enter to change the field size to 7. Okay, or you could have just clicked back in the box under customer ID. It's short text. We're going to a new field called personal property. So we click here again, and they want it to be called currency. So you can, when you add the fields at the same time, you can select the data type, because as you can see, it does not have anything down here that says new field. So all you would be doing is select currency, and the new field is called personal, no space, property. Then you click here, and you got to come up here, make sure that this data type says currency, which it does, but it could have said short text. So it says currency, so that's good. As you can see, it's currency here. So this is great. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is save this table as renters. So we're going to right click here on the tab here that says renters. Don't click over here. Do not click on this table. Let's see. Well, you could do it over here too, but I suggest that you do it here. Click, right click, and click save. And then the save as comes up, and then you type renters. So I'm going to see if the same thing happens over here. If I click here and I right click, and well, no, this is just to rename it. So you don't want to do it on this side. So you always want to save it here. So you click here, then you right click, you click save. And then you type in renters, it's capital R-E-N-T-E-R-S. Make sure you have the R capitalized, and make sure that your S is at the end, and then click OK. If you don't do this, so in any of the instructions, they get the specific instructions, you want to follow them, because if not, it could be marked wrong. So you click OK. And now on the left side, on the navigation side, your tables now changes to renters. And as well as it changed to renters up here. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a record to the renters table. We're going to save it, then close the table. Okay. Okay, so we're going to add the first record. So you click here. Because it says here, with the renter table still open in data sheet view, add the record shown in the table. So this here is the first record. A record is like a row in Excel. So in Excel, they would call this here a row. In Access, it's called a record. In Excel, the policy number, this is called a column. Customer ID is called a column. In Excel, they're called columns. In Access, they're called fields. So that's the difference. So let's add the first record. It should be R. If it's capitalized, you want to capitalize the letter R. 10, 2, 2, 3. Tab. Do not hit enter. 1, 1, 1, 2, and a 4. Tab. And then type in your 7, 5. You don't need to do the comma. And then tab. And it goes to the next record. Okay, it wants us to save it and close. We're going to save this, so click and right click on it. Excuse me. You don't want to save by clicking on the file and going into the backstage. You want to save by clicking on the tab. Because we're saving the table, not the entire database. So you click on the tab, the renters tab, you right click, you click save. And then you click on the tab again, you right click and you click close. So now if I wanted to open that record up again, you should see those changes as you see right there. So again, to close it, you click save and then and close. And you should get in the habit of doing that every time you want to close something out. Always save it first. Any of the tables you want to close out, always save them first, okay, as well as the forms. Step 3, we're going to create a new table in Design View. So you click on Create Table. If it's not in Design View, you come under the View group, and it always defaults to Design View, and make sure it's in Design View. It says add a field with the name, policy number, and the auto number data type. So you click here, and you want to find now we're going to create a table in Table Design View. So I want you to ignore the last step I did, and we're going to redo this. To do that, you click on Create. You go to Table Design, and it opens this up. Okay, so 3A says add a field, name, policy number, and auto number data type. So we're going to come over here. We're going to type policy number, no space, and then you can tab here, and you want to select auto number. Next, it says set policy number as the table's primary key. So you come here to the table and you click here, and then you come here and you click primary key, and then you come in the tools group and click primary key. Now it marks it as the now it marks policy number as the primary key. Save the table with the name homeowners, but do not close it. So we're going to save this table, click on it, right click, click save, and this table should be called homeowners. and click OK. But do not close it. So don't close. The next thing we're going to do with the table still open, we're going to add another field. Click here to add another field. Click under policy number to add another field with the name of customer ID. So I'm on step 4. Okay, and you're going to tab over to data type, and it wants to be short type. Short type popped up as the default. And save. Now I want you to save the table and close it this time. So what you're going to do now is come up here to homeowners on the tab. You right click, you click save, and then you right click on it and you click close. So now you have a renters table here and a homeowners table. Okay, and so now we're going to move on. The next thing that we're going to do is open up the customers table in design view. So under your tables, under your on your navigation side, you click on customers and then right click. Click on design view to open it up in design view. Okay. And under the design tab, if you come over to the views group, if you click on that, you'll notice it's open in design view. Okay, so step 5, the next thing that continuing on, we're going to change the fields first over here to first name, no space, and we're going to change the field last to last name. Okay. And in the customer ID, the next step, number 6, it wants us to change the data type here from number to short text. So you click here, it was number, you change it to short text. Now we're at step 7 in design view. So we're going to make sure we are in design view. So you can come to your design tab, click on your view, make sure you're in design view, which we are. Okay. Add a new field to the customers table. Here we're still in the customers table, as you can see, after the postal code field. The field should be named date of birth. So the fields are over here. You have several fields. You have a customer ID field. You have a first name field. You have a last name field. Remember, fields are like rows. Are like columns. You have an address field. You have a city field. You have a state field, and you have a postal code field. Okay, and they want a new field added after postal code called date, and you have to type it just how they want you to. How they suggested it. If there's capital letters within the text, you need to capitalize it. If there's lowercase letters in the text, you need to lowercase those texts. So they want date of and the capital B, just like this, birth. They want the data type to be date time. So you tab over and they want this to be date time. Click there. The data type to be date time. Save the customers table. And now we're going to save it. So you click here. It did not say close it. Right click and click save. So now that's saved. Now it says number 8, switch the customers table to data sheet view. So now we're going to switch this table to data sheet view. And to do that, just come here on the design tab, click on the views tab and go to data sheet view. Notice the difference between this is data sheet view. Okay, remember in the data design view, these are your fields. Your fields are columns. Customer ID, first name, last name, address. And then you have your rows, okay? So I'm going to change back to design view. Notice the difference. Field name, customer ID, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, postal code, date of birth. But they want us to do this in data sheet view. So now we are in data sheet view. I just wanted to show you the difference, okay? Remember, fields are columns and the rows are the rows in Excel, and then fields are columns, okay? The columns. And then your rows are considered records. All right? I just wanted to point that out. Now, there is another way to switch between Datasheet and Design View. You can click on the tab and then right-click, and you can go to Design View. You can click on the tab and right-click, and you can go to Datasheet View. So that's another way that you can view your documents. Also, don't forget, you can come over to the View group, and you can switch between those also. Okay. It wants us to go to the third record. Okay. So we're going to delete the third record, which is 11003. So you click on the record. It's highlighted. If I was to click off of the record, pay attention to these tabs. If I click on the record here, the easiest way to do it is to come here and hit delete. Okay. You also can right-click on the record and hit delete here as well. Okay. So they both carry out the same function. So we'll go to the records group, click on the down arrow, and hit delete. Make sure you're on the right record. Let me go back to the right record and then hit delete. Then delete it. You get a message you're about to delete one record. If you click yes, you won't be able to undo this delete operation. So when you're deleting something, always make sure that you truly want to delete it. It says, are you sure you want to delete it? It says yes. Okay. So the next step, we're going to navigate to the fifth record, 111106, and change the last name to Alberts. Let's make sure. Navigate to customer value field of 111106 and change the value to Alberts for the last name. So we go to the last name and we change this to Alberts. Hit enter. And that's exactly what it says. Do change the value to Alberts for the last name field. It says close the customer's table. So now we're going to close the table. So we click on it. Okay, so now we're going to just close the customer's table. Click on it, right click, and click close. It did not say save it, so just close it. All right, so that's closed. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, step 10, we need to create an individual customer records. We're going to create a form. Use the form to create a form for the customer's table. So we click on create. We come over here, we click on form. It says it creates a form that lets you enter information for one record at a time. If you click on form design, it says it creates a new blank form in design view. In design view, you can make advanced design changes. It didn't say create a form design, it said create a form. So click on form, and then it comes up. It said the form appears, and so the form appears under the customer's table because we had customer's table still selected. If the homeowner's table was selected, if we created a form, it would say homeowners up here instead of customers. Okay, it says save the form with the name customer data form. So we come up here and we right click and we click save. And this needs to be called customer, take the S out, data, space, form. And confirm that the form matches figure 1. Make sure you put the spaces here and make sure that you remove the S. Click on OK. Now we got to make sure that this form matches this form. So customer ID is 11001. The first name is Alan. Dallas Squares, the address. So it matches. Okay. And then it says close the form. Notice we have an additional form here. We had the umbrella form. Now we have this one. So we want to close it by clicking on the customer data tab, right click and click close. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a simple query wizard. So we click on Create. We come over here and you click Query Wizard. And it wants us to create a simple one. It's already selected by default. And you click OK. Once this comes up, it says which fields do you want in your query. You can choose from more than one table or query. We need to leave this as table for customers. It says save the query with the name umbrellas. Include all fields from the umbrella query. It wants us to do the umbrella query. So we would have to select first the table umbrella. Okay, it has the different tables. So all the different tables you can create a query. It wants the umbrella table, okay, not the customer. It comes up as the customer's default table. However, that's not the one you want. You want the umbrella table. And right here it says A, include all fields from the umbrella table in the query. Available fields. You have a policy number field, a customer ID field, a premium field, and a coverage field. You can select one at a time, or you can just select all of them. Okay, so now it carried all of them over. You click Next. It says, would you like a detailed or summary query? Always detail. It shows every field of every record. So you make sure detailed is selected, and you click Next. It says, what title do you want for your query? It says, save the query with the name umbrella query, which came up as a default. Okay, and then close it. Here it says, do you want to open the query or modify the query's design? Open the query to view the information. And then you just click Finish. Okay, so you always want to open the query to view the information. You click Finish. There you go. Now the query information has come up for umbrella. Now you have over here, you have umbrella queries also. You have tables, queries, and forms. So now here you want to close the umbrella query as it's stated here, and then close the query. So we're going to close it by clicking here, then right clicking and click Close. So we have a query. Okay, so we're going to create, we need to refer to a printed copy of the umbrella table when assigning consultant projects. So we're going to use the report wizard, which is here. We click on this, come to the reports group, click on report wizard. This here comes over, include all fields, 12A say include all fields from the umbrella table in the report. So if you were to even generate your own tables, queries, forms, even if you don't have this set of instructions to follow, you could really watch this video and be able to do that. So we need to bring up the umbrella table. Let's go select umbrella. And it wants us to include all fields. So available fields are policy number, customer ID, premium, coverage. Again, to include them all, you just click here. And then you click Next. And then this comes up. Since we're not going to include any grouping levels, you don't select anything. You just click Next. Next, we're going to sort the report by customer ID. So you select customer ID in ascending order. And click Next. It says select tabular as the layout of the report. So we have tabular layout. It's already selected. And portrait as the orientation. And under orientation is portrait. If you wanted landscape, you click that. But they want us to do portrait. It says save the report using the umbrella. So we're going to sort it. The portrait is as the orientation. Now it says save the report. So here you click Next. And it says save what title do you want for your report? Save the report using umbrella report. We don't want just umbrella. We want umbrella report. as the name. Confirm that the report matches figure 2. Always want to preview the report. Click on finish. And right here, you want to make sure that this report matches this figure. Now, if you did not have, or if you're not a student in this particular class or working on the Cengage platform, you can still generate the tables, and you make sure that this matches this, which it does. Let me go back up. Let's open this back up. What did I do? I don't know what view this is in. Okay, report. So keep it in report view. As you can see, there's different views. You can review the report. There's a layout view that looks like that. Close that out. But there's different views that you can view this report in too. You can come here, right click. There's a print preview. There's a layout view. There's a design view. It's all kind of different views that you can view this report. But I want to keep it in report view, just as you see it on the, and all you do is just scroll over here and make sure all your numbers are the same, which they are. It says in the navigation pane, use umbrella data form to rename the umbrella form. Okay. So now here's the umbrella form, and it wants us to rename it. Make sure we right click on the umbrella tab and close it out. 13 in the navigation pane, use umbrella. So we're going to come over here in the forms, and we need to rename this. So click on umbrella, right click, click rename. So come to umbrella, we're at step 13. We're going to rename this, right click and click rename. And then we click here and hit a space, and it's called data space form. And now once you click off of it, it's renamed. Save and close any open objects in your database, compact and repair your database, close it, and then exit access. Okay, save and close any open objects. Open objects means that there would be a table over in this blank area. Okay, so we've closed everything out, we've saved everything, so you're good. The next thing we're going to do is compact and repair the database, close it, and then exit access. So now we're going to compact and repair the database, close it, and then exit access. To do that, you click on File. You come over here, and it says Compact and Repair. What this does is it helps prevent and correct database file problems by using Compact and Repair. You click on that, and there you go. Next, we're going to close out the file. We're going to click on File, and then do Close. Okay. So now you don't see anything on the left side. You don't see the navigation bar. Next thing is we're going to exit access. You can do that by clicking on this X here, or you can just go File, well, the easiest way would just close it out here. There you go. We have exit access. Now, it's important for you to make sure you have saved your work so that you can submit it, or if you're not on this platform, you just upload it to the teacher, the professor. Okay, so this completes the This completes project module 1, access module 1, SAM project 1A, creating and modifying tables and other database objects. Again, yes, you can carry out these same skill sets on your own without using this platform. You would definitely need some database files to kind of play with. But I think we made this happen, and hopefully you got a lot out of this lesson, and looking forward to working with you in the next lesson.